Hello, 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 fine folks of the internet. Welcome back to another video with me, Tom at McBroadcast. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a possible acquisition from Sony. Let's get into the video. So, the big news is that Sony is looking to acquire Kadokawa, the company that is the parent of Fromsoftware. Now, this is a big deal. Why? Well, Fromsoftware, known for their wonderful franchises such as the Dark Souls, such as Elden Ring, my favorite being Bloodborne, of course, and even their first installment into the Souls kind of franchise, Demon's Souls. So this is a big deal. Now, I know a lot of people are umming and ahhing. Why is this happening? Why are more acquisitions happening? Aren't acquisitions bad for the industry? Well, that is the general public's view. Now, unless you're a fanboy and you're championing your favorite company to buy said studio. Now, before, this was believed to just be a rumor, but there has been confirmed by Kadokawa a letter of intent from Sony. So, the cat's out of the bag on this one, guys. They want the big Kadokawa. What for, we don't know. Okay, now, naturally, most gamers are going to point at, of course, Fromsoftware. Now, Fromsoftware is going to be a huge get. If this acquisition goes through, they will own huge IP. And it also begs the question, does it open the door for Bloodborne 2? A sequel, a remaster, a remake? Yes. As someone who is such a huge fan, it's such a beloved IP, and I love the world, love the lore, I would love to see a sequel, something that continues on. One is not enough. No, I'm not going to agree with everyone else that says, no, it doesn't need a sequel, leave it be. No, but nothing needs a sequel, but we still want them anyway. Kadokawa also owns Spike Chun Soft, which also owns Danganronpa and Octopath Traveler. IPs like that we're all pretty much accustomed to. Not huge, obviously, compared to Elden Ring, Dark Souls, etc. But still, IPs that, if bought by Sony, I'm pretty sure they will keep them under their first-party ship. So that goes into the next part. Will a lot of these things become first-party exclusives? Well, I think some will. Established franchises like Elden Ring and Dark Souls, no. But if there's inevitably going to be a Bloodborne or a Demon's Souls sequel, well, yes, because they were exclusive to begin with anyway. Danganronpa, things like that, to be seen. They're a little bit more niche, they're smaller, they're not juggernauts. But time will tell. The next big thing to talk about with this is acquisitions. That's the big word here, acquisition, okay? A lot of people totally against it, and I understand why, okay? But this is clearly the way the industry is going. It's no longer just in-house studios. It's about getting the big players. And one of the biggest players has already been taken off the chessboard, which was Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, now under Xbox. So it does beg a lot of questions. Is this the right move? Why is Sony going down this route? Now, remember, Sony has a huge monopoly in the anime area as well. There are a lot of little anime companies, okay, and streaming services as well. So this could be something they're also trying to add to their library, their portfolio. It might not just be about the fact they're getting Fromsoftware. I'm sure they're looking at this and thinking, well, we get this. We want it. We need it. So the letter of intent is out there. The question is, does this go through and when? A lot of people are pointing towards early next year, March sort of time, but we won't know for sure. Time will only tell. Something to remember is that Sony already owns a 2% stake in Kadokawa. So them going the full mile, not necessarily surprising. This was one that a lot of people, a lot of gamers, a lot of fanboys have been talking about for a while. But the only other thing to consider is that Tencent also has a 14% stake in Fromsoftware. So does that muddy the waters? Is Tencent, is Tencent still going to own their 14%? We won't know. Obviously, it's anybody's guess at this point. But naturally, with all this news comes a lot of outrage. Yeah, you heard it, outrage. Everybody is up in arms, particularly the PC audience and the Xbox audience. Why? Well, why do you think? Because naturally, if Sony purchases Kadokawa, if Sony gets those library of IPs, there's a good chance they will keep them exclusive. Guys, you have to remember, this is a business. They are not out here to be your best friend. They're not going to be doing the generous goods. They're also not going to follow the Microsoft strategy, okay? It is not the Xbox strategy anymore. That much is very clear. It is Microsoft's strategy. Just because Microsoft is wanting to put all of their titles and all of their IPs steadily onto multiple platforms doesn't mean that everybody's doing the same thing, okay? It is not a Pokemon card trade system. Not everybody does the same thing. They don't just swap pieces with one another, okay? I've seen a lot of people, and I get it. It's fine to be upset. It's fine to be annoyed. But for a lot of people, and the fanboy take even, it's a case of, well, hey, my favorite company, that they gave you one of our games, so why don't you give us one of yours? As I said, guys, this isn't a Pokemon card trade, okay? It's not tit for tat. That's not how business works. They don't all operate the same. They have clear ambitions and intentions that are completely different from one another. So let's take the tinfoil hats off, throw that to one side, and just start thinking a bit more logically, okay? If they go exclusive, they go exclusive. That's it. If they don't, wonderful, more people get to. Now, I imagine if they do decide to go the exclusive route, they will probably keep them on PC. They will probably keep, as I said, Elden Ring and Dark Souls multi-platform. But any new IP, an IP that has been previously exclusive on the PlayStation system, they probably will keep exclusive. And that's just going to be the reality of the situation. But we will have to wait and see. One thing that's got my brain racking though, folks, is there any possibility of any stoppage? Any FTC, any things like that, similar to how the Activision Blizzard deal went through, where it took a long time, a lot of court cases, a lot of government officials, etc. Now, we have to remember, this is a Japanese company, and it's also nowhere near as big as Activision Blizzard. A lot of people were saying, well, it's going to happen. Well, probably not, because they're not of the same scale. You have to remember that Activision Blizzard is one, if not the biggest acquisition in history. 69 billion. Okay, not a small number, not chump change in your pocket. My goodness, I wish I had that. But different deals, different companies, different countries, okay? So let's just see what happens. Ultimately, there could be some stoppage, there could be some appeal, but I personally think if this deal is going to happen, if the letter of intent is true, then it will go through. I don't see any reason to believe why it stops. The whole excuse of Sony is trying to get a monopoly, they're trying to monopolize anime. I don't know. If they were going to be stopped, I believe they would have been stopped quite a while ago. But anywho, so everybody, thank you once again for tuning into McBroadcast. Remember, as always, to stay tuned, stay updated, but most importantly, remember to stay McBroadcasted. See you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you all soon. Bye-bye.